So powerful, we better read it again. Thus saith the Lord, cursed is the man who trusts in who? Tell your neighbor, whenever you put absolute trust in man, you're inviting a curse on yourself. Whenever you say, the only way we gonna make it is if so-and-so do this, and you talking about a man, you bringing a curse on yourself. You bringing a curse on yourself. I'm showing you scripture. If God shows you, gives you a dream that's bigger than anything you ever dreamed, and it seems like nobody will get behind you to push your dream, as long as you know that dream came from God, you keep striving to walk in that dream. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Joseph. When your brothers don't believe your dream, Joseph, you keep telling your dream and you keep believing that the God that gave me the dream will make the dream a reality. Because God does not give you a dream to play with you. He gives you a dream that you can live. God will never tell anybody anything just to make them happy. He intends on fulfilling every word that he gives you. But there are some things that God speaks into our lives. We must trust him to get to that place. Israel had to trust God to get to Canaan. You hear me? They had to trust God to get to Canaan. What's Canaan, Pastor? Promised land. Land of more than enough. Do you not realize the promised land is not just an Old Testament promise? God has a promised land for all of us. It may not be named promised land, but there's something he has in mind that he has just for you, just for your family, just for your ministry. But you can't get there unless you go by believing him. You go by trusting him. You see what I'm saying? Because hold on. Sometimes God will, he has a way of putting you on a path, telling you great things. And yes, you're excited. Yes, you're happy. But he has a way of putting you on a path. See if anybody is familiar with this. He'll put you on a path, but he won't tell you all the obstacles. He'll watch you sit there and shout and turn in victory and just move rows in the church. You shouting so hard, but he won't tell you that there are 10 obstacles there. Oh, come on. I'll fix it up. He'll tell you, David, go up there and see about your brothers, see how they are faring in the warfare. And he'll know he done set you up to be blessed. But he didn't tell David that Goliath was up there looking for somebody to challenge. David had to get there and then see, oh, there's a blessing, but I got to slay this giant. It's the same way with you and I. There's a blessing, but that giant must come down. That wall must come down. And sometimes that wall that needs to fall is our dependence on man. The man at the pool, Jesus showed up. He'd been laying there the whole time. Jesus said, do you want to be made well? Somebody here tonight with a problem that you can't solve, that you're worrying about. And Jesus said tonight through a bona fide prophet, do you want to be made well? But you know what folks say? I have no man. That's what he told Jesus. I have no man to put me in the water when it's trouble. Because when I get ready to go, they beat me in. See, he didn't know that the man standing in front of you is going to heal you without you getting wet. I'm trying to tell you, stop looking for your blessing to come like it came for your sister in the church. He may do it that way, but then again, you may not have to get wet. Oh, that's a prayer. That's a message right there. You better high five somebody, tell them you may not have to get wet. I had to get in the pool to get my healing. I had to get in the pool to get my blessing. I had to get in the pool to get my house. But you might not have to get wet to get yours. He may just tell you, believe. And ain't no sense in me being mad because I had to get wet to get mine. And you just simply believed in. But before I, listen. The main point is, you cannot look for man to be provision for you. Word first, people have to look to God, okay? Now I'm going to prove it in the close by briefly speaking about Three little simple things, and then we're done. Three little simple things. First of all, let's look at Luke 9. I want to show you how when people are obedient, that God will provide, or he'll be provision, okay? Are we on the same page? I want to show you how when people obey. Because there's some tonight saying, well, I ain't been getting provision. I guarantee you ain't been obeying. Because whenever you obey, provision going to be there. Am I right about that? Somebody in here know that. If you obey God, provision going to show up. Provision going to show up, okay? And so that's what I'm going to show you in the close. Luke 9 and verse 14. Check out the scripture. For there were about 5,000 men. Now this is Jesus with a whole lot of folk. And they need something to eat. Okay? Now his disciples then came to Jesus and said, Lord, now see, they men. Send these folks away. We can't feed all these folks. Basically, Jesus said, why send them away? Why send them away? They just need some instructions. And if they'll follow these instructions, I'll provide. Now, those instructions seem silly, but for there were about 5,000 men. Then he said to his disciples, make them sit down in groups of 50. Make them sit down in groups of what? 50. Why we can't do groups of 70? The number 50 ain't ever worked for me. Why he had to say 50? Look, you hungry? You hungry? Ask your neighbor, you hungry? Tell them, sit down in groups of 50 then. That means if I were there and I sat in a group, we already had 50. Then you come and say, no, we got 50. We got 50. We got 50. Look, they got 49. They need one. Y'all need one more because I'm hungry. He said, sit down in groups of 50. Some instruction God give you, you will stand there and ask, why? Why, Lord? You got all that power up there. All you got to do, and don't ever act like you ain't ever tried to run heaven. I said, don't ever act like you ain't tried to be the CEO of heaven and look up there and say, Lord, all you got to do. I'm sitting down here praying for days. All you got to do is just touch the full heart and tell them to hire me. You know I want to work and I need the job. We don't try to be the CEO of heaven. While at the same time can't even run our own house. But we trying to get God. Yeah, I need to be in charge of heaven. And some of you think if I was in charge, this wouldn't be going on and that wouldn't be going on. Yeah, but at the same time, we be done killed a whole lot of folk. I don't want the type power God got. You make me mad? Your breath belongs to me. And you talking stuff to me. I'm going to take your breath. Yeah, I'm just going to see you sitting there fussing at me. I'm going to say, and then while you sucking it up, you know what I'm looking at you and say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Everything God going to be limited on how much power he give us. Okay, sit down in groups of 50. And then they did so. And he made them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, looking up toward heaven, he blessed and brake, gave to the disciples to set before the multitude. So they ate and were what? They ate and was what? Look at this. They needed food that man couldn't do. Man couldn't feed all them people. But because they obeyed divine instruction, God, he fed them supernaturally. Okay? Notice John 2. He fed them how? Supernatural. And see, all we got to do is believe there's some supernatural things he want to do for us. Things that you can't explain. Can you imagine somebody there that day, 5 loaves and 2 fish, and they went back home and said, man, boy, we done ate. I'm so full. What happened today? Man, Jesus. He took 5 loaves and 2 fish, fed 5,000 people. I don't believe it. How? How? Now, what I'm asking you, how you going to explain that? I know some of y'all smart. How you going to explain a man taking 2 fish and 5 loaves and then feeding 5,000 people? Only thing you have to say, God did that. I don't believe it. And then you know the next thing you need to tell him, it's all right here. And as you look at John 2, guess what I believe now? I believe that was some of the best fish they ever ate. I believe that was some of the best bread ever. That's supernatural bread. You ain't get that fish, Captain D. Ain't no way. Look at John 2. Okay, how much you love Papa Doe? Papa Doe ain't had nothing on that. Not that they came supernatural.